Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Kara Couture, and welcome back to my precocious, pragmatic, and penultimate little review show, Very Slay. We go over each and every main stage runway look on Drag Race Philippines Season 3. Apologies if the audio is a little more echoey than normal. Most of my office space has been cleared out here because I am in the final stages of this move, and really the last things left are my makeup and my computer and all of that stuff, but I had to keep that going so I could film this and get this out as soon as possible for all of you. Since this was the grand finale for season 3, I felt it was only appropriate to get in a full proper mug and do a little Kiana inspired eye, because I love her eye makeup so much. It was really fun to do. Honestly, kind of want to do a full inspired tutorial or something. I don't know, some of these divas this season have really got me out there wanting to do full recreation makeups, so maybe that'll be some content coming once the new office gets all set up. We'll just have to see. In the meantime, we had an absolutely jam-packed final episode, and we've got quite a number of looks to get into today. We had looks from all of the eliminated queens that normally I would do over on the Patreon, but because they were on the main stage for one final time, and there's a few that I would really like to just talk about a little bit, we're gonna briefly discuss those. And then we have 3 looks from all of our top 4 in a grand finale ball. We had a recreation of their first time in drag, which personally is a category I always love to see on Drag Race. I always think it's really fun just to see the reinterpretation of that origin story. Then we had Art Attack Extravaganza, a look that celebrates Filipino art and culture, which I was very here for as well. And then at the end of it all, we had a grand finale eleganza situation for this last category. On top of that, we also had lip sync looks, talent show performances, so much. They gave us so many looks in this individual final episode. We're not gonna get into it all here, but if you want to read my full opinions on the episode, that will be coming over to the Patreon for free. Once I get caught up on all of the other ones I still need to write. I've been busy, y'all. I've been real busy. Luckily, after this move, things should be pretty regular. Unfortunately, it didn't happen during Drag Race Philippines, but it is happening just in time for Drag Race Thailand starting next week, the same day the Philippines has been airing. Now, as you all know, when we go into these looks, if I thought it got the job done, met the brief, but didn't blow me away, we give it an okay. If I absolutely adored it, we give it a slay. And if I think it missed the mark, we give it a nay. And it's all in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look out of every episode. Whichever look takes that top spot at the end of the episode will go head to head up against our current ranked slay of the season, which is Kiana's Perya look from episode 3. Whichever look at the end of that bout comes out on top, I will illustrate, and sneak peeks of that you can find over on the Patreon. Philippines fans, now that the move is almost done, I'm going to really be getting back into doing art again, I've needed to. So there's gonna be a whole bunch of Marina summer stuff coming too, along with whichever look is my favorite from this season, once I get caught up with all the other ones. So be sure to sign up over there. You can access the sneak previews of the art starting at the $3 tier level. And honestly, any support would be greatly appreciated because y'all, moving is expensive. And I'm basically uprooting my whole life, all of my drag, my streaming setup, my computer setup, my editing, my art, all of that, and taking it with me. So it's been putting me a little bit behind on things, and hopefully once the move is done, I'll be able to get back on a regular schedule and getting stuff out more routinely and really hit the ground running and make this thing work. But if you want to support the channel and help out in any way that has no cost to you, all you need to do, like, comment, subscribe. It helps push the video in the algorithm, get it boosted around, and then on top of that, it helps contribute to watch hours and the sub count, because we are just over 700 watch hours away, and we need another 230 or so subscribers before I can start running ads on the channel, and that's when I can actually start seeing a little bit of money coming off of all the work that's going into this. The sooner we can hit those goals, the better, but I just want to take again a second to say thank you all so much for all the continued support over this season, because it is this season that got us to YouTube Partner in the first place. I am immensely appreciative for each and every one of you who has tuned in along the course of this season. With all of that out of the way, let's finally, now that it's all done and over with, for one last time, switch over to this other scene and dive into each of these looks. Alrighty, so we are going to start off with the eliminated queens from this season. Starting off with First Sex. I love this sort of extrapolation on the traditional butterfly sleeve that we've seen on a lot of Terno looks this season. I love the print on this outfit. I love the shoes, but I think overall for a final runway, it could have been a little bit more. It could have been a little more over the top, a little more extravagant. I think it's a beautiful look, but it is not particularly my favorite, especially when you put it up against all of the other looks here. For me, I'm gonna give this look just an okay, but congratulations to her on being this season's Miss Congeniality. Next up, we have Yudipota. Now this look is what I would expect for a finale. I love the scale of this. She looks stunning in blue, and I love the beaded fringe on the sleeves. I love the scale of this whole look. The crown really completes it. She looks very regal. This is a slay. Then we have Jay Quinn. Now again, I love this little butterfly sleeve moment, and the print is really cute on this fabric. I really enjoy that a lot. I think the best part of this is the hair. For me, the overall silhouette's not really doing it a ton. I think it's one of the more pared down looks out of all of the ones for the final runway here, and I think it just, when you see some of these other looks, it just really lacks a lot of wow factor. But again, hair's stunning. It's okay. Then we have John Vedoyaga. I think this is easily my favorite look from John over the whole season. This is a sculpted hairstyle that I think works because it's more scaled back and it's all about the sculpt and the updo. I love all the feathers. I love the scale of this collar piece as it wraps around behind her head and around to the wrist. I think that's really cool and it creates a great shape. Then on top of that, we have a stunning, stunning look with this skirt. I think it is very reminiscent of her promo a little bit, but I think it works. It's a successful piece. It's a slay. Then we have Popstar Bench, and my God, this look easily the best thing she wore all season. And I'm glad that after kind of a tumultuous history on this runway, she got to have one real star shining moment out of all of these looks. This is gorgeous. I love the crystals up along the shoulder. I love them in the hair. And I just, everything about this. The print is gorgeous, the stonework is gorgeous, her mug is gorgeous. Really a big surprise for me. This was a slay. Then we have Mix Chanel. Very icy. I'm very here for this. I think this is another sculpted wig that I think works because it's more pared down. It's not a ton of over the top sculpture with just a straight slick back. I do wish it had been like a little more dynamic in the back than what it is for the hair, but the sculpted bits are really cool. The coat is the real star piece here though. The ruffles through the sleeves and the overall scale of it, really impressive work. This is a slay. And then finally, closing out this first runway of the night, we have Zimbading. I will say, I don't like the feathered wig. I think that was a little odd of a choice, but the gown itself, absolutely stunning. My favorite look for her over the course of the season. Great silhouette overall and wonderful color choice for her. Slay. Now, normally I would do these looks queen by queen, but I think because it's the finale, I'll change it up a little bit and we'll go category by category. So here we go. First category up, we have a recreation of the first time in drag. First up, we have Angel. Her first time in drag look, I think out of the four, is one of the least successful, simply because it's the most departed from the original look. I just think if the first look is a gown, doing this like little showgirl moment, while it's cute, I just don't think it reads one-to-one, other than like, it's sparkly and it's got some fringe and some color to it. The thing too, like her look for description is that she was the best in long gown in this high school pageant. So why didn't she wear a gown for this? That's my biggest gripe with it, I think. Like, it's styled well. I like the whole ensemble. I don't think it fully hits the mark for me. It's okay. Then we have Kiana recreating a little mummy look from her first performance and her first competition, I believe. I think Halloween drag is easy to take in a direction that makes it look really tacky or really cheap, but this is a great extrapolation on the original look. It looks very similar to the original look, which is with the additional skirt, to be honest, but I think it works. I love this hair and the wrap around it. Really, really cool. I just think overall she moved through this well. It's well designed, well placed, everything. It's a slide. Then we have Maxi up next, and this look is probably my favorite look that she has over the course of the season since the fractal look. There's some moments of it that I think read a bit tacky and not in a good way, like, and the big stripy bits that come down on the skirt are really large and chunky that it just, I don't know, something about it doesn't hit totally for me, but hair's great, makeup's great, styling is great. I think it is overall really, really successful. and I think it's a great extrapolation on the original look. It's a slide. Then we have Tita Baby, who's doing this recreation of a police uniform that she was in for her first time in drag. I think she's got the notes here. It definitely reads as like a campy femme police officer. She's kind of giving me a little Jill Valentine here, which I think is kind of fun. But after the last two looks, I think her and Angels are my least favorite for this category. The silhouette's right. I think it fits her aesthetic really well. I like the black and white pearls, and I like the accessories through the whole piece. But again, I just didn't find it up to stuff with the two prior to this one. It's going to just be an okay for me. For the second category, we have Art Attack Eleganza, a celebration of Filipino arts and culture. Starting off this category, again, we have Angel. This, for me, is my favorite look of hers over the whole season. I think this is phenomenal. The level of detail all throughout this gown is so cool. All the little landscape bits through the whole thing. The cloud structuring on this very traditional Filipino silhouette. I am familiar with the work of Paul de Malanta, so I was excited to see that brought into the runway here. I think there's so many great details here. I wish she hadn't held the little mountain piece in front of the dress so much, because there's a lot of really cool details through the bodice and we're missing a lot of that because of the way she presents it. But this is fantastic work. This is a slide. Then we have Kiana. Another really, really stunning look, surprise, surprise. Kiana's look here is entirely made out of hand-woven mats, and I think all of the placements of all the different textures and the cross-hatching gradations, really, really well done. This dress, especially from the back, is really architecturally beautiful. Just the engineering of this is stunning. This is, for me, a slide. Then we have Maxi. Now, this gold moment for her is gorgeous. I think the way she performed it is great. And her look in particularly is inspired by Lalahan, who is in her words, a mythical nymph from Visayan folk tales. I'm not super familiar with this point of origin, but I thought that it has this very butterfly quality to it just because of the line work and the piping and just the thick black edges on everything. I think it does read very nymphy but fashion, and I think it's successful. The one thing I don't like about it though is the hair. I don't think the hair really works with this, but the dress itself, stunning. I'm gonna give it a soft slay. And then we have Tita Baby. She is referencing an untitled and unfinished work by Cesar Legaspi, and I think the concept of this, where the gown is finished, but there's sketch lines on the hat and on the lining in the cover-up, I think is really genius. I think it's such a great way to show an unfinished canvas idea. However, I think when you compare this look to the other three, it is the weakest of the four. But I adore it either way. I think she looks stunning and gorgeous, and it got the job done for me. It's also a soft slay. And then finally, for the final runway of the season, we have their best drag eleganza, Angel's look. This is gorgeous. Now I have to say, this is what I was hoping to see for her first category. I think this is stunning. And if her whole thing is that she was the best in long gown, the way she presents this is so pageant. You would have thought this would have been what she would have worn for that first category. But I like the hair a lot, the placement of everything, the beadwork, just really impeccably done. It's a slide. Then we have Kiana, who's doing this kind of artsy kooky look that is a little deconstructed face that I think is kind of a nice nod to the other looks where it's all this very piecemeal, lots of busy lines, and also the face incorporation. I think her looks overall consistently through this ball package makes sense together as a cohesive storyline. Now, this whole look is something that she wore for the first time when she performed in Manila. I think it's cute. I think it's great. I'm not the biggest fan of the hair with this, but again, overall, I do think there's some cool ideas. I just think that for a final runway, it's a bit of a weird choice. I'm gonna give it an okay. Then we have Maxi, who's giving us this full sequined red moment. I don't quite understand why she has all the red glitter on the makeup all over the body. I think making it red, it looks like blood splatters, kind of gives me rash vibes. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that choice in the styling, but I think the makeup is great in general. Otherwise, the hair is correct. And I like the silhouette of the gown. I think the skirt comes up a little high on the corset. I wish it had been done a little bit lower because it truncates her midsection. But in general, I still think it's a great look. And for me, it's a slay. And then finally, we have Tita Baby, and best look for her of the whole season, I have to say. This is immaculate. It's mature, it's classy, it's elegant, it's well embellished. It looks so expensive. And her in gray, stunning color choice. I like that it's a cool tone gray too. And the idea of bringing more of a corporate executive look and the drag with it is so smart for her. I think the scale of the skirt is great. The ruffle treatment is stunning. This really took my breath away on the runway. This is a slay, hands down. Even the back of this look is stunning. And now for one final time, it is time to pick my slay of the day, my favorite look out of the whole episode. The 7 eliminated queens are not eligible, but if I had to pick one of those, it would be Popstar Bench. Her look really blew me away. Then when we get into the individual categories on the runway this week, I would say of category 1, the redo of their first time in drag, that would go for me to Kiana. For the second category, for Art Attack Eleganza, I would have to give that look to either Angel or Kiana. And then for the third look of the night, the best drag, that goes to me, to Tita Baby, easily. Out of all 12 of these looks that we had out of the finalists this week, I have to give my slay of the day, our final slay of the day of the competition, to Tita Baby for her finale Eleganza. I thought this look really was the look of the night. So, we're gonna put this look head to head up against Kiana's Perrier look. And this is a tough one for me because I love this sort of corporate wriggle energy that Tita Baby brought. But like I have said before, I truly do think that Kiana's Perrier look is the look that defines the entire season as a whole. And I think it is one of the best looks we've had in Drag Race all of this year. So Kiana is going to take my slay of the season officially. And I will be illustrating her Perrier look at some point, hopefully in the near future. But as always, you can again join the Patreon to follow along for updates on all of that. Once again, thank you so much for all the support this season. I hope y'all decide to watch some other content. I will be doing at some point recaps of Philippines season 1 and season 2, mostly because I would like to rewatch them, mostly because I want to go back and start doing Very Slay for previously aired seasons. And we are going to probably go back all the way to 2009 and season 1 of US Drag Race, but I would like to start getting stuff together and every couple of months or so put some new ones out as full season recaps. I'm not really sure. There's so many seasons, there's so many episodes to review, and that means a lot of looks, a lot of makeup, a lot of content coming at ya. So I think it'd be fun to take a little trip down memory lane one day. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe I'll let the Charavan decide and we'll have a little poll over on the Patreon. So if you want to have a say in what season I might cover next in between things once things slow down a little bit on the TV front, then head on over there. Be sure to sign up. Again, I would appreciate it. Philippines may be over, but we have a new season coming on up to take it in its place. So we will still have 5 seasons ongoing at the same time. Yippee. But we will see you all in the next video, or if we don't see it until the next time a Philippines girl is on TV, we'll see you then. Either way, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those lovely little things. And before you go out there today, y'all, be sure to stay kind, stay queer, and make sure that your day is very slay.